Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty windows, let the song illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. Tonight we are finishing Audrina Patridge's book, where she talks about new beginnings and also first look and her divorce to Corey Bohen. It is quite a juicy and also very heartwarming conclusion to the book. So I'm excited to wrap up chapters 9 through 13. I hope you're ready for it. Let's dive in. Oh, hi, it's me, Zack Peter, pop culture junkie, reality TV insider, published author, and host of the No Filter with Zack Peter podcast. Here I'll bring you all the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered combos with your favorite stars. I've got you covered. And yes, I always keep receipts. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest tea. Now, let's dive in. Hi, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful, what's today, Tuesday? I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. It's been a wild, long week. I just got back from Vegas and then I had Sheena's show and I immediately Monday morning just had to go back into taping. And so there's been a lot of content that I've been taping these past 2 days and just kind of just settling back in, having the pups being back at home. But yeah, I'm excited. We are finally finishing up Audrina Patridge's book, Choices to the Hills and Back Again. And not only that, but I have a little surprise that I will share with book club members only. Obviously, you'll find out very soon, but I have a very special guest tomorrow. And that special guest is none other than Audrina Patridge. Woo woo. So Audrina is going to be on No Filter tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot about the book. So if you have been reading it for book club and have, or at least been keeping up with book club, then at least you'll, have a little bit of insight and then hear what she has to say about new beginnings, about the original show, about the cast members now. She is so open and transparent, which I really love and adore about her. So yeah. Yeah, let's dive in. Ooh, it's thunder and lightning storming here, and I love it. Candles are lit and the fireplace sun. Ooh, okay. As long as we're loving that. It is very hot. It's very hot in LA. We were like going for walks and doing all the things with the dogs, and I was like, oof, ugh, oof, it is hot. And then I figured, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do a members only tonight. I'm feeling in the mood for a members only, a mention it all. So I think right after this, we'll do a members only live chat. I got the wine out and I'm ready to pop off. So stay tuned for that after tonight's book club. All right, let's dive in. You can always become a member of the Zack Pack if you're not already, with the link in the description below. I think you should be on like a desktop, not a mobile. Mobile usually has issues with trying to join membership. Sorry, I switched out my Invisalign. I don't have it in right now, but like my mouth is sore. Okay, let's dive in. Chapter 9. So, as we know, she was doing First Look, which was the travel series that she was filming. She was a host for it. She loved it. After that wrapped, I think she did it for 2 seasons. After that wrapped, she returned to the OC and re-enter Corey, her toxic ex, the on again, off again boyfriend that she's had that loved to drink and loved to go crazy and, loved to party. And he just kind of kept finding his way back into her life. And so she made it happen. But upon her return to the OC, she finds out that her aunt had passed away. She says that's when Corey really stepped up to be there for her. And then, whoopsies, she ends up pregnant. So she said that at this point, it felt like Corey was ready to ditch his bad boy ways and he wanted to marry Audrina. So he planned this whole elaborate proposal, far beyond exceeded her expectations. And that's why in the book, when she says when things were good with Corey, things were great. But when things were bad with Corey, things were really fucked up. So while traveling for work, she said that Corey was very distant and, he was out still partying and hanging out with all these other girls. And then he would get drunk and he would be reckless and then he'd get mean. He'd get mean to like his friends. So since she was pregnant, she was sober and she was like the designated driver. So she had to be around a lot of them. And she's like, it opened my eyes a lot to see him, to see his friends, to see everybody when they get drunk. Like when you're the sober one, I think you look at things through a different lens. So she said that that experience of being pregnant and sober opened up her eyes quite a bit. And since she was taking a break from being on TV, this was allowing her time to focus more on her bikini line because she was known as the bikini girl because she was always wearing bikinis on the show. She was always spotted out, photographed in a bikini. So, yeah, all while planning her wedding to Corey in Hawaii. She's working on developing her skincare, or no, sorry, her swimwear line, not her skincare line. And then when it was time to move into their new home, Corey was busy. He was out drinking. He was out at the strip clubs. So it was tough for her to kind of have that family dynamic that she was hoping for because she's pregnant. She's putting together this house that she ended up buying with her grandfather that Corey did not have any monetary investment in. She was the one providing by buying this home. She decided to do it with her grandfather. I believe her grandfather ends up passing shortly after that. But when it was time to move into their new home, Corey just wasn't present. He wasn't there. He didn't really care. And then finally, when she would confront him, she claims that he would disengage, that he wouldn't want to, you know, get involved in wanting to be a better parent or wanting to be a better partner. Then when her daughter Kira was born, she said that that's when he became a lot more involved and that Kira really brought them together. But it did come with its challenges because now once Kira's in the picture, she went into full mama bear mode. Then we get into chapter 10, and chapter 10 is titled Harder Lessons. And this is where she gets into her wedding decor, which really did sound magical. It was on a private beach in Hawaii. She made everyone sign NDAs. They wanted to keep it super low key. Ultimately, one of Corey's friends ends up selling the address to a paparazzi who got the photos and then published them in a magazine. I think it was like Us Weekly. I don't remember exactly which magazine. But she says that his friends kept treating the wedding like it was one big party rather than their commitment to each other or like a celebration of their love. In the weeks ahead of the wedding, Audrina asked for a prenup, which initially pissed Corey off, but ultimately he did agree to signing the prenup because she made it very clear to him that like she would not marry him if he did not sign the prenup. Her family seemed to have some reservations. You know, they definitely were like, I don't know if this is the guy for you. I don't know if this relationship is right. She says that, the wedding was perfect and she wouldn't have changed anything about the actual wedding aside from the groom. She just picked the wrong groom for this perfect wedding. She treated the day she wrote as the scene on the hills, right? She was just supposed like she got her call time. She was supposed to show up. She was supposed to be a happy bride. So she's like, you know what? Even though we weren't filming the reality show and there wasn't anything that I was necessarily performing, I showed up to be the happy bride. That was the role that I was supposed to play. And that's kind of how she approached it. She says that she now regrets not calling the wedding off. She just knew how much money and planning went into it and she didn't want to disappoint anyone, but it went by like a blur that she didn't really remember being present. She's like, it was beautiful, it was gorgeous, the photos were incredible, but she's like, I wasn't present, I wasn't myself. And even people around her told her that like she wasn't there. Like she was physically there, but she was mentally so checked out. And I think it was because she had to go through the motions of like being the bride. So even in the days after the wedding, she remembers needing Corey to watch their daughter for like an hour while she handled some work, and he would refuse and he would be like, "No, I want to go surfing." And she's like, "I literally have to work." And he's like, "Well, I've already committed to going surfing. So is your why is what you need to do more of a priority than what I need to do?" So it sounds like there was a lot of like me, selfish gaslighting when it came to Corey. His mom ended up intervening and decided to watch Kira so that they could both tend to their plans. I kind of feel like this is a situation where the mom should have been like, listen, as your mother, you're a grown boy now. You're a man. You need to watch your daughter. Your wife's busy and needs to work. Cool, fine, whatever. You need to step up and be responsible. I know when you're the grandma, like sometimes you're like, no, I'll do anything. But I think there are some moments where you need to have teaching moments. And maybe that's hard and maybe that's not easy. But I don't think that his priority should have been going off to go surfing while Audrina needed to handle work. And so they made the mom watch the baby instead. To me, that's weird. After the wedding, Audrina says that he never got any better. She said that she kept isolating and hiding the cracks in their relationship, even thinking that they may have been the problem in their relationship. Or sorry, that she may have been the problem in her relationship, which I mean, I feel like we've all kind of been there, right? Where there are issues and you're like, am I the one that's creating this? Am I the one that's blowing this up in my head? Am I looking for a problem? Am I the problem? But she said that she wouldn't open up to anyone because she was afraid that, if she spoke about any of this, if she finally let her guard down, she felt like she would break. Whereas, at least in this case, if nobody knew, then she had the control of containing it. She says that she loved Corey, but becoming a mother ultimately gave her a lot more clarity. I think that sobriety also gave her a little more clarity. She said that she started going to therapy on her own, and then eventually that led to couples therapy. And she would always use, or she says he would use her therapy vulnerabilities against her outside of therapy, that like she would be like very vulnerable about, let's say, being insecure about this specific thing. And so then when they were outside of therapy, he would exploit that insecurity in order to make her feel down so that, he could help her give him more attention. I don't know. He seemed very selfish based off of, how she spoke about him. She says that she was embarrassed that she was in this position. She says Corey wanted to be better, but just couldn't get it together. It seemed like he really did have that willingness to want to be a better husband to Audrina, but she was very much like checked out and not present in her body anymore, which is kind of how she was in her wedding. So it feels like that just continued to deepen. But she reflects on having this big work trip that she had to go to Miami for her swim line, and Corey was supposed to stay home with Kira, which um he was upset that Audrina didn't want to take them on this work trip, but it was supposed to be just like a quick work trip. She was like, it was only 3 nights and I was going to be in and out. That I thought, as the father of our child, he would be able to handle that. But she says that he played games with her and he accused her of cheating. He even threatened suicide and would use Kira to stress her out. That like at one point he remembers sending, or she remembers him sending her a video of Kira coughing and then being like, I'm really worried about her. I don't know what to do. And so she was like, okay, take her to the pediatrician, and he wouldn't take her to the pediatrician. And I think it was his attempt and tactic to just stress her out. She said that she never took a work trip without Kira again after that, that she was done. She trusted him and he wasn't able to show up in the way that she knew that their daughter needed. And ultimately that was enough for her. But then we get into chapter 11, and chapter 11 is titled Don't Mistake My Kindness for Weakness. I'm sorry. Hey, boys, come, come, come. Sky, come here. Can we leave the chew toys alone? Oh, we destroyed something over there. Wow. The babies are babying tonight. Took them on some long walks, and now we're just doing all the baby. Sky, hey, buddy, no chew toys right now, okay? I'm trying to tape the book club. It's book club week. Hi, Sullivan. Okay, then we get into chapter 11, and chapter 11 is don't mistake my kindness for weakness. And this is where she says that she was done with her marriage, that Kira became her main priority, and that Corey would always come home drunk, yelling at her and calling her names and accusing her of cheating. And she used to journal, so that was really helpful, that when he would come home she would just let him rant and do whatever he needed to do, and then she would journal for a little bit, and that would help her fall asleep again, which is kind of how she found her peace. She said that she found out that he was cheating on her again. And by this point, she was just so numb that she didn't even care what was going on with him. It didn't affect her the way that it had prior. And when he found out that when he found out that she found out that he was cheating, she's like, he blew up on me. But she never wanted to fight in front of Kira. Hey, boys, calm down. She said that she never wanted a fight in front of Kira, and that she wanted to take Kira to her parents while Corey was engaged in this fight after she had found out that he was cheating. And she was like, listen, let me just take Kira to my parents' house and then we can talk afterwards. I don't want to see her get into it because I feel like if we continue this conversation, I'm going to get into it. And she said that she didn't even care about the cheating. She didn't care about anything that he was doing anymore. She was really just trying to protect her daughter. And when she tried to leave, that's when he flipped out and he would not let her leave their house. She says that he blocked her exit. He pushed her with Kira in her arms. After that interaction, Kira started crying while she was still in Audrina's arms. And then Corey started punching himself in the head. And, she then ran out of the room. And I believe she locked herself. Oh, she locked herself in Kira's room, not the bathroom. I thought it was the bathroom, but it was Kira's room. And she says that she needed to protect herself. But she mainly also wanted to protect herself from the scrutiny of the press, because she's like, if they caught wind of any of this, it's going to turn my life upside down. Everybody's going to know what I'm going through. So she said that while she was hiding in Kira's room when he was flipping out, that she called her dad, and her dad's like, listen, babe, I will get there, but what you need to do right now is call the police. I can't be there, and, like, the police need to get involved at this point. Like, this now it's time." And she said that she was afraid to call the police because she was afraid that if she called the police, the 911 call would get out. It sounds like she really was screwed up by the media scrutiny that they got from the Hills, and so she said that she was afraid that this would all get out in the press and that, people would scrutinize her for being in this relationship and they would judge her for staying in this relationship. Corey threatened, he was telling her that he was gonna bang his head in the street outside. That way people would know that she's the one that caused this because she's the one that was leaving him. Like, it sounds very extreme and very manipulative in that way, and he then told her that if she ever left him, that he would destroy her. She said eventually he took off and blamed it all on her and was like, "This is all your fault. I'm leaving because of you. I'm gonna hurt myself because of you." His temper was only getting worse and worse, and she just couldn't do it anymore. She said that she felt like she was dying on the inside, and he promised to get better. He wanted to get better. She kept rationalizing and trying to, excuse his behavior, but eventually she's like, it did reach the point where she had to call the police. She was scared and she was full of shame. She didn't want to. She didn't feel like she needed to at first, but eventually she kind of reached that point that, like, if she wanted to protect herself and her daughter, like, this was time. She said that she was very much a people pleaser, and Corey knew how to weaponize that against her. And now it was just time for her to end her marriage. So she did. She filed for divorce, stayed with her parents, said that he would beg her to come back. As we remember in last week's book club, throughout their earlier dating, he would show up at her house and be parked outside for days until she would talk to him and give him attention. So now she was officially leaving him. The divorce papers were filed. She says that the court process was exhausting. She had to speak on a panel, and she remembers having to show up for this event to promote her swimwear line. And Corey ended up finding out where she was. He showed up at the event, caused a scene backstage, and then during the panel, he was texting her from the back of the room, flooding her phone with all these mean text messages. Their marriage didn't even last a year. They had dated for many years. They had a daughter, but their marriage didn't last a full 12 months. Corey stayed living in her house, the one that she bought with her grandfather, while she moved out and decided to move in with her parents. And she said she just had to wait out the process until she was able to get him out of their house. The only times that she got to go back to the house was with the police escort, and it was just to, like, pick up clothes for herself or, hey, 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 boys, hey, no wrestling right now. Sky, Sullivan, hey. So it's unfortunate. She said ultimately she had to pay him to leave, and now she had a restraining order against him. But it ultimately caused a major havoc between the two of them. And he went through all of her stuff and took their marriage certificate and Kira's birth certificate, which she said that she was really afraid of because she thought that, hey, enough. Hey, Sky, Sullivan, come here. She said that when he left their apartment because she paid him and he had to be police escorted out, that she took the marriage certificate that he took the marriage certificate and he took Kira's birth certificate, and she was afraid that he would then try to go and get a passport and take her to Australia. And now that he had access to those documents, that there was just a lot that she was afraid that he would do because he was so unhinged. So she was scared, she was worried, but she's like, listen, despite all of that, I felt really proud that I was able to take this step and to move towards, a more productive life that'll be better for herself and her daughter. But once she got back to the house, she's like, I couldn't stay there. Once she got the house back, she's like, I can't stay here. I can't be here with him, knowing that he was here and knowing that this was the life that I shared with him. It was just time for her to find a new place. So she stayed with her parents while she put the house on the market and looked for a new home. So that she loved her privacy and she loved having her independence. And Kira does have visitation with Corey 2 days a week for a few hours at a time. The press at this point was reporting on all of it, which she says was really stressful because she just wanted to get through it and not have anybody know about it or talk about it because of the shame she had around it. But as stressful as it was, she said that it was ultimately very freeing. And then we get into chapter 12, and chapter 12 is another new beginning, which is where we get into the Hills reboot. And she says that when the idea first came up, she initially declined. She wanted to be done with that chapter of her life, and, like, going back to the Hills was just not of interest to her. But she felt like this was her way to reintroduce herself to the world. And she's like, you know what? I'm not the person that I was when I was originally on the show. So at this point, I feel like why not lean into this and take advantage of the opportunity to showcase who I am today? She says that this version of the Hills was supposed to be more authentic and a lot less fake. But before they were young and wild and free, and now, their lives were different. They were real adults. They were married. They had kids. She said that most of the cast hadn't seen each other since the original wrap party for the original Hills, and that this was the first time they were all sort of interacting again for the first time. And she's like, listen, you want to make a good TV show, but also there are boundaries I need to set at the same time. I don't like the stakes are a lot higher than they were back then with the first time around. She says the producers will push you or influence you to do or say certain things. And sometimes she would even get upset with herself for kind of caving and allowing them to, nudge her in a certain direction that she says maybe didn't feel fully authentic to herself. But the show was very emotional, and there was a lot of life that they had all lived since then, so she felt like they came into it a lot more vulnerable and real. But she has a lot of compliments to write about Heidi. She speaks very highly of Ashley, who's Jason Waller's wife. Jason Waller was, Lauren Conrad's boyfriend back in, I think, like, season 1, maybe even season 2. But she says the connection and chemistry with all of the cast was still there, and they have this bond that they will forever have. She wasn't sure if their potential, um was real or if, it just kind of they just kind of got caught up in the show again. But she says that when it comes to Justin Bobby, that he just wasn't right for her because obviously that was a lot of the storyline in the first 2 seasons was whether or not she's dating Justin. Then I think they tried to make like Brody a thing. But so she's like, I don't know what my feelings are with Justin. We do talk about it in tomorrow's podcast episode, so stay tuned for that. But she's like, regardless of what it is, it's gonna take a strong man that can come into my life and deal with me being a fully independent single mom, and that's a lot to take on. We do have a really good conversation about dating as you get older that you guys can look forward to, but we get into Justin, we get into Ryan Cabrera, we get into Corey, her ex-husband, and how they just couldn't do she wasn't able to go there in her life as much as she would have wanted to. She says that Ryan Cabrera really helped her find her confidence again, that he was really sweet and he was a really fun guy. But, at that time, he was really ready to be emotionally present and she was really just done with the fuck boys. But at the time that he came back into her life, she was still trying to pick up the pieces from her old life with Corey, that the timing just never worked out. It was never right for them. As much as there was love, they just became really good friends. So their I was gonna say recollection, reconnection, reconciliation. Their little fling was very brief. But Ryan seems like a great guy. He seems very present. He seems very emotionally available. He seems very supportive. She says that when it comes to Rod Stewart's son, who was on the Hills New Beginnings as like the guy that Spencer and Heidi were trying to set her up with, she's like, my dates with him were all fake. They were all for the show. None of it was real. We were never an actual item. And then they try to make Brody Jenner a thing. And she's like, listen, I get it. Brody and I have like a really natural chemistry, but like we're literally just friends. And I don't see us moving beyond that ever. She also found challenges maintaining relationships with her cast because she's like, the show friendships get blurred with the real friendships and you don't know what's real and what's not. She mainly talks about how it was challenging to film with Heidi because she believed that her friendship with Heidi was real off the show, but then there were things that would come up on the show for the sake of the show. She's like, we're creating a show, it's entertainment. So it was weird because then we knew that we had certain things to play up and certain marks to hit. And it was a challenge to see what was real and what wasn't. But she's grateful for the Hills New Beginnings because it helped her relaunch her swimwear line. Then we get into chapter 13, which is the final chapter, which is where she says that she's learned a lot in her life after her marriage, after her relationship with Corey, after being on TV. She says that she would avoid drama, which only made things more difficult because she was doing it to please other people. She's very much a people pleaser. But she's like, I was literally fighting for all the wrong things. I was fighting to keep other people happy. And now I have to keep myself happy. And so she says that she sees her life so differently now and that Kira's helped her grow up a lot. She thought having a relationship would be good for Kira, but she learned how to focus on herself, which is more powerful to show her daughter. Being in a relationship that's toxic is not healthy, but being fully free and independent is the best decision that you can make. And so she's like, as a woman, as a mother, I wanted to set that example for my daughter. And she says that this book is her journey And she's grateful for all of those experiences, the good ones and the bad ones. And she now owns who she is and knows who she is and owns how her choices have created her life, good and bad. And now she's in a different place where she can make better choices. So, boom. Zach, the puppies are really acting up tonight. Yes, they are. The puppies are doing the most tonight. Boys, hey, Sky, Sullivan, we literally had the longest day ever. And I walked them so much and they were napping literally just before I went live. And then at that point, they're like, time to wake up and be crazy. I'm loving Zach with the dogs. Listen, it's real, right? If there's anything I give you, it's real. My pup is acting like a complete psycho right now, too. Yes, Mackenzie, but you're not live on YouTube. But I feel it. I relate to you. Audrina didn't have it easy. She didn't, which was surprising. I feel like, her life really played out in front of the press, especially her relationships. And again, we talk a lot about that in our interview that'll air tomorrow. It's painful to watch now. I mean, yes and no. How do your eyes feel? My eyes are doing great. They're a little dry, but, like, for the most part, like, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. It's getting you ready for fatherhood. Oh my god, I'm so ready for fatherhood. I cannot wait to be a dad. I will do it single and solo if I have to. I want to become a dad within the next couple of years, so I am now going to start really looking into what that journey is like for me. So, new eyes, getting new teeth with my Invisalign. I got new puppies, new apartment, and now I'm like ready. Okay, now I need to really build that family. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Mm, 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 mm. Can you imagine? I'm gonna be such a DILF. I'm gonna be like, baby on my I'm gonna be like, baby in my what are those little carriers? I'm gonna have the baby, I'm gonna have a dog, I'm gonna have a dog. No, actually, I'm gonna have one leash that'll carry two dogs. I'm gonna have a baby, two dogs, and a glass of wine. And be like this. Yeah. Get it, get it, get it. DILF life. Holla. Oh. Oh my god, adopt me. I'm the worst kid ever, but I'm loyal. Listen, these hoes ain't loyal up in this bitch. So anytime I can find me a loyal bitch, I like it. I like it a lot. I left Adam an ugly message for being rude. Guys, okay, I just want to say this. I appreciate the love. I appreciate all the support, but we don't need to I don't want anybody to send any negativity or nastiness to them. We don't match that energy, right? If somebody's going to be nasty to us, we're not going to give that back to anybody else. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. I've gotten so many sweet messages, which I really do love, adore, and appreciate. But I would not ask anybody to send any mean or negative messages to anyone in all of this or to try to further perpetuate any more negativity. That's not what we want. That's not where we're going. I definitely got caught up in my feels because I was very much fired up because I was like, don't lie on my name. Don't try to fuck with my bag and then get up in my face and try to cause a scene in front of other people and like make me look crazy. So I definitely got caught up in that. But the only thing I don't want anybody to do is send them any. I appreciate the sentiment. I really, really do. But I don't think we need to stoop to that level, Let them stay in that low vibration bullshit. We're in a much higher vibration and we, will continue to rise above. So I'm not mad at you for doing that. But I would just ask anybody that wants to support me, your kind messages are so much better than sending anybody any negativity. And I see all the Team Zack. I saw all the Team Zack messages for the Heather McDonald podcast that he did yesterday. Convenient timing. Convenient story, convenient timing. I won't drop that, but yeah, we don't need to drop to that level. I feel like my I spilled the tea with Zach and Adam hoodie went up in value. um, yeah. But I do want to say whoever said that they left a scathing message, who was them? I want to shout them out. Pam. Listen, Pam, I appreciate it. What I said was he should be ashamed. Listen, and I listen, I appreciate the love. I'm not upset with you. I'm not trying to shame you in any way. I just, I think we've all gotten caught up in the drama sometimes. And I think for me, I just I have too much good in my life to let myself get dragged down to low vibration bullshit or play anybody else's games in this case, that it's like we have so many good things to focus on in our lives and, in the content that we're putting out, that we don't need to lower ourselves to that. Well said, Zach. I saw some nasty messages to Adam and just thought it was yeah, okay, that's what I don't want. Guys, I did not share that story so that anybody could send any sort of negativity to him. The positive messages that you're sending me, I appreciate so much. Um, and it was a really weird experience, right? It was a really weird night, but yeah, listen, continue to watch his content if it resonates with you or not. That's your decision. I would never want anybody to not support him, but I also don't want anybody to send any negativity towards him. Their life is their life. Their choices are their choices. Their decisions reflect their own life. And I can't change that. I can't do anything about that. But all I can ask is that we don't continue to perpetuate that negativity, right? Again, we don't want to lower ourselves to that vibration. I understand we get emotional, we get caught up in the moment. I got caught up in the moment too on Sunday night, that it is what it is. But I did make a very conscious decision that I'm not gonna be quiet about any of this stuff anymore, because I'm tired of being quiet, because I'm being quiet to protect other people that clearly are not, that don't give a fuck about me and that will continue to trash my name. So when I do hear rumor and shit does come up and other people do tell me things, friends of mine tell me things, yes, I'm going to publicly talk about it, because that's my weapon, right? You can trash me behind the scenes, but I'm going to address any rumors that I hear publicly and dispute them as I see fit. Because I'm tired of being quiet and I'm tired of that shit being perpetuated, and I will continue to put it out there in the hopes that it doesn't continue, because that seems to be an issue, is that they're bothered by this continuing to go public. And so for me, I'm like, I will continue to put it public if you continue to do this and tarnish my name and try to burn my relationships behind the scenes. And that's just where I stand. And I'm going to stand by that decision, at least for now. That's how I feel. And that's where I'm going to stay. But I appreciate the love. I can't help but love the drama. I mean, listen, we all love the drama, right? I get it. I understand that the drama is the drama and we're in this world, and I'm not mad at you for loving the drama, but it's one thing to watch the drama unfold, and it's another thing to participate in the drama and keep the fans going. I will keep fan the flames and keeping them going. Because I will say this, as exciting as it is, and I know people want to get caught up in it and want to continue to fan those flames, if you do care about me or you do care about him, you also know that fanning those flames does continue to hurt us, because at the end of the day, we're the ones that get burned in it, right? So anybody that continues to perpetuate any of this by sending negativity one way or the other, or repeating rumors or whatever the case may be, all it does is continue to ignite those flames. And we're the only two that get burned in it. So if you do care about us, one of us or both of us, and it's fine if you care about both of us, it's fine if you care about only one of us. It's fine if I'm not the one you care about. I'm not asking for that loyalty. I'm just asking for authenticity and positivity. I absolutely love that you are. Listen, all I can be, I've gotten a lot of those comments and I appreciate that about my authenticity. All I can do is be me, right? And I think one thing that I've loved the most is that so many people have come out from this and they've been like, I don't always agree with you, but I love that you at least are authentic in everything that you do and say, even when I don't agree with you. And I'm like, listen, that's what it is. Would love for you to be on Juicy Scoop. Here's the thing, this keeps coming up because obviously he was just invited on Juicy Scoop. I was talking to Heather McDonald. We were talking about doing a podcast crossover. Obviously, there were like the rumors about her talking, like throwing shade at me on Instagram Live, which she says she never did. She says she's never gone on Instagram Live and said anything negative about me. And I'm going to choose to believe her at face value. I have no reason to not collaborate with Heather, and I don't think I've ever given her a reason to not want to collaborate with me. I think I've always been very supportive and genuine and true in my support of her. I mean, our relationship. I mean, or I guess not relationship, but like we've kind of been in each other's worlds for a very long time. Even when she used to work with Jenny McCarthy's foundation, or she would do like stand-up events to support Jenny's foundation, and I used to work for Jenny's foundation coordinating those events. Like I've never had a negative issue with Heather McDonald. So that's why when those things were coming out, when people were telling me that she was saying negative things about me on Instagram, I was a little taken aback by that. But she said that that wasn't true and that she never said those things. And like I said, I'm going to choose to believe her at face value. She's been on my podcast before. I would love to have her back on, and I would love to come on Juicy Scoop at any point. We don't have to talk about any drama. We can talk about literally whatever she wants to talk about. I mean, if she wants to talk about my childhood trauma, I would be happy to talk about my childhood trauma. I would love to talk about my wicked stepmom. Listen, I don't care what she wants to talk about. That was kind of a joke, but not really a joke because obviously I have empathy for that situation. I'm not trying to shade that situation. I do find the timing of it a little strange, but listen, the door and my heart are always open to collaborate with people. And I think, if Heather is still willing to be open to that collaboration, that door is always going to be open for me because I never, even if there's beef with a certain collaborator, I would hope that we would be able to move past that at some point. So, and this is not to drag Heather into this. I don't want to drag Heather into this. And I feel bad that I kind of feel like other people have gotten dragged into this stupid, silly drama. But it's like the more we kept the pot on the stove and kept the oven on, the more it was ultimately just going to blow up. And I feel like now we're at this place that I was hoping to avoid for a very long time. Love the energy between you and Dose of Donna. I love Donna. I think I'm going to come on her podcast soon because she just did mine. Zach, you're not the only one with drama with another content creator. Have you heard of Tasha K? I have heard of Tasha K. I don't know much about her drama, but yeah. Zach, do you watch Below Deck? I don't watch Below Deck, but I do know Jason hosts a really good Below Deck anchor watch. And I know people love that. So many people that love Below Deck say that they love their live streams. So I don't watch Below Deck. The only time I watched it was when there was that issue with the sexual harassment on the show. Of course, now the babies they're chill. They're like, all right, the live's wrapping up. Now we can be chill and cool. But yeah. Hi, Zach. I finally made a live with you. I totally love you. Thank you for keeping it real. Thank you, Shannon. The way you've handled it in the entire ordeal is exactly why you stay winning. Listen, I'm not trying to be strategic in anything. Sometimes I'm very impulsive and I engage in things that I should. Like today, I went on an Instagram live that somebody was doing. Jeff Lewis Obsessed was doing an Instagram live and she was really supportive and like shared the link to my podcast. So I popped into her live and I like said hi. And then she's like, tell me about the situation. I was like, okay, here's kind of what I have. And I was like, and then I thought about it afterwards. And I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Like maybe I'm the one that's continuing to drag this out. And I felt bad about that. But listen, all I can do is be who I am and show up who I am in the moment. So, do you take live calls on StreamYard? I don't take live calls on StreamYard, but I do have a hotline that you guys can call into, and I will listen to those voicemails and respond to them. Only because I try to be mindful of the fact that, like, sometimes live callers can get a little unhinged. They can get a little mean or sassy or whatever, and you never know what you're going to get. So, at least in this case, we're able to kind of filter it, and you're able to send in a voicemail. Give me your name and the city that you're calling in from. That way I know who you are so I can give you a clear shout out. But yeah, I mean, I like this new voicemail thing. People seem to like it as well. Here, let me drop the number there for you. So if you guys want to call and leave a voicemail, I'll play them and answer them on our Thursday night live stream. So you have a minute to give it a call. Where is okay? So the call-in number is 323-389-5915. I'm gonna post it in the live chat too. Leave a voicemail. Boom. I'm going to pin it in the live chat as well. That way you have the number and can. Oh, how do I? Oh, there it is. Okay. So you can leave a voicemail. The number is 323-389-5915. Be sure to give me your name. Open the call with, hi, my name is Heather McDonald from the Valley. Hi, my name is Rocky Bang Bang from Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, drop your name, where you're calling in from, leave me a voicemail. I'll play them this Thursday. Live calls are a hit or miss for me. I like the voicemails. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. At least the voicemails, we're able to kind of vet them, shift out the negative comments, and still allow people a chance to have their voice heard. Oh my god, imagine if Zack takes live calls, it's just me screaming Lady Gaga songs. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. I was singing the Hills. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the song illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. Sorry, my voice is a little scratchy from Vegas. Okay, I do wanna do members only, right? We should do a members only now that we've wrapped book club. I will say you can buy Audrina Patridge's book, Choices: To the Hills and Back Again. The link to buy is in the description below. It is a part of my Amazon storefront, so you do get to support me, and I do make an affiliate commission off of every sale that you make through the Amazon storefront, so you can get a copy of Audrina's book there. And stay tuned, my interview with Audrina will drop tomorrow, Wednesday, on the podcast No Filter with Zack Peter, which airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So again, if you want to leave me a voicemail, I will play it this Thursday. The number's below. You can screenshot this. You can type it in. Call me, beat me. If you want to reach me, if you want to page me, that's okay. I kind of want to read Britney Spears' book too. Oh, trust me, we will. When that drops in October, we're going to kill book club with that one. Hi, it's me again, still a dipshit. So funny. Okay. I need to shower and pack a bowl. Oh, okay. Live life. Okay. Give me 2 minutes and I will start the members only live stream, and then we can get into it and live life. All right, guys. Love you. Mean it. Thanks for joining book club tonight. Get a copy of Audrina's book if you haven't done so already. Look at that. Brittany living live. Brittany dropping the super stickers. We love it. Thank you, Brittany. It's Brittany, bitch. All right. Bye, guys. Members only starting in like 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes and I'll pop right over. Okay, bye.